Okay, welcome back to Cool Clubs Reviews. Finally, driver reviews.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've got a lot of data, and we just weren't quite exactly sure how to show it to people on what was important. But I think we got it, close for now. We can always adjust.
I'm confident. I'm confident. Yep. Well, let's start with the Titleist. We're going to go through numerical order. TSR1 to start. Where are we at with that?
All the TSI stuff, since they came out with that product, a couple of years ago, we really didn't sell a lot of Titleist stuff. We always sold some stuff here and there. To Titleist guys and stuff and better players for the most part, but ever since TSI, it's been one of the best drivers on the market for all kinds of players. And the one we're talking about here first, the TSR1, that's something new for them to some extent in the last couple of generations. It's a lightweight, kind of made for Japan, slower swing speeds, probably nobody over 90 miles an hour, maybe a few.
Yeah.
But it's a different animal, right?
Yeah.
It's a different type of club.
Certainly fitting it in the field. I was using this at really, really slow swing speeds, and like we said, although we're using 95 miles an hour here in this baseline test,
right.
If you're going down to the 60, 70 miles an hour, all we're doing is shrinking this graph down in terms of carry distance, basically, right?
Yeah, theoretically, we get down to like 5 miles an hour, and they're all standing right in front of you, right? So, and dispersion's not much.
and this is one of those drivers that you're not going to have many 95 miles an hour players using it,
right?
But it's still good information. This is a lightweight construction, and that will hurt and help some of these numbers.
Yeah, just to briefly kind of fill you in on how that actually hurts in this case, right? So some of these drivers are designed for 46-inch shafts and longer things to be as light as possible. And really what you're trying to do with any golfer is try to get as much ball speed as you can given their club head speed. And lower club head speed, people don't have a lot of power. Lighter weight means faster speed. And kinetic energy is half mass times velocity squared. So speed is important.
Yep.
The downside to that is the robot doesn't know that. We still set it at 95 miles an hour. It's a little bit lighter head, so it gets hurt a little bit on the smash factor. But that's a little misleading.
So yeah, the lighter club head speeds, I get them to help people increase swing speed. It's not like I'm expecting ball speed to jump. I want them to move the club quicker for that.
Right.
So let's dive into the numbers. Let's take a look. We've explained the numbers. If you haven't seen that video, head to our page and you'll find the explanation. So we're going to just jump in. Let's take a look. We've grouped all of these into lofts within the model range.
Right.
So let's go.
So each screen is a different model.
Yeah. So 9 degrees. The first one is toe, 10 degrees toe, and 12 degrees toe. 4.2, and this won't make much sense because this is the very first one, but that's actually a pretty high rating from a toe strike.
Yeah, it's a really forgiving golf club. I mean, it's a little bigger, obviously. It's the largest one of all of them. So that helps some, but yeah, it's just a forgiving golf club.
Yep. Forgiving in the toe, and that's distance, and that's offline, and then heel is unbelievable. It's basically the top
that's a
rated.
hard spot. It's one of the top rated clubs if you hit it in the heel.
And I think a lot of these players that would be in this category would maybe be heel finders, coming over the top a little bit. That slower speed that could really help. Getting some ball speed, getting some dispersion tightness out the heel. Our speed rating, so that is basically smash factor. Looking at all the 9 degrees. So now we're not comparing the lofts in speed. We're looking at just the 9s, just the 10s, and just the 12s. This is not a speed rating. This is where it's been hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it's been hurt by the mass of the head a little bit, yes.
Yeah. So it's not like it's a slow driver. If anything, you're going to pick up club head speed with it, so that may offset.
Which is more important, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
And then consistency. So this is the tour test, those 5 coloured dots up in the top left there. How accurate it is, and we're kind of looking at the graph there. There's one spot on this driver which isn't great for probably every driver.
Right.
It's the low in the face spot.
Yep.
It gets actually a decent accuracy rating. But maybe allude to what happens. You strike it low in the face, RPMs pick up, right? And because there's lightweight and the CG's back trying to get the ball in the air, probably seeing spin jump up higher than maybe what would be.
Yeah, so some other drivers, potentially.
And then spin launch. These are slightly on the higher side, and Titleist's done a great job here. Obviously, the 9 is at 264, the 10's at 273, and the 12's at 297. So per degree of loft, as you increase, you're also getting more RPMs.
Which is exactly what people do, because typically when you're increasing loft, you're also losing club head speed.
Right.
And that's one thing that people kind of forget about. And all these drivers are designed now to be low launch and high launch, low spin. And for some people, especially at lower club head speeds, that low spin becomes too low, and the ball just drops out of the sky.
Yes.
So don't be afraid necessarily to see the higher numbers in spin. Might necessarily be a bad thing. It might be a really good thing for a lot of people. In this case, it is.
And as we expand on the range and we look into other models from different manufacturers, people will be able to figure out, that one is really good at getting the ball in the air. And I think that's what we're going to see here. This 12-degree model, if you're struggling with club head speed and getting the ball airborne, this is a good pick.
This is a good driver.
Okay, so TSR1, handicap range, where are you looking?
I think it's a pretty big range. I think it's more of a speed range, right? So, under 100 miles an hour, probably. Definitely, definitely under 100, but probably under 90.
Yep.
I would say this could be for anybody. And then Titleist is known for better player club, so to speak. But this is not that animal. This is anywhere from probably low swing speed 5 handicap to your 30s.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's tougher here. There's a correlation, right, between swing speed and handicap anyway.
Generally, yes, but not always.
Not always. So you'd say, okay, like slower and lower. But if you've got a guy that is a great player that wants to pick up club head speed, hits it really accurate, and needs a bit of spin, they're going to be fine for it too.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's a weird range. Let's push it out to absolutely raw beginner for certain,
right,
and then down to someone who needs that higher speed movement.
Yeah. I'd say there's a pretty big range on this one.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Yep, you're welcome.